Welcome back to another episode of Checking All the Boxes. I'm here with my good buddy, Logan Joyce. What's going on, Logan?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing great, dude.
Good.
So, where are you from, man? How long you been skating for?
Yeah, so I was born and raised, well, I was born in San Bernardino, California, and raised on the mountains, like Running Springs area for a while, like in between Big Bear and Lake Arrowhead.
Okay.
And then probably about second grade, I moved down here, and grew up in San Juan Capistrano, and now I live in Laguna Niguel.
Nice. So when did you start skating?
It's probably eight. Yeah, probably 8 or 9. And I saw my brother with his friends outside, like skating ramps and stuff, and I was like, that's super rad. It's like the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And the only thing I had at the time was rollerblades, you know, from like little street hockey rollerblades, and I was like, dude, I'm just gonna go jump on the ramps with them. So I went out there and I got clowned pretty hard.
On the rollerblades?
Yeah, on the rollerblades. So I was like,
I think we all started out on rollerblades.
I think you have
nobody
to.
wants to like admit that though, you know? Because I know for sure I was rocking rollerblades.
Dude, everybody rollerbladed first. Or the ones that like strap onto your feet, you know, like onto your shoes.
Yeah, those, yeah.
Dude, the old school 90s, like little.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I want a skateboard. So I told my mom, like, I really want a skateboard. And she was like, okay, cool. But she didn't take it too seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, not too long after, my grandpa came home one day. And he had like one of those like cheesy like Nash Walmart boards, you know, had like a tiger or a lion on the bottom or something. And I was like, sick, I'm in. Yeah, I spent like the next, I don't know, like year just on that board, just one board, you know. And then finally got like my first complete.
Damn, so you spent a year on a Nash?
Yeah, pretty close to like a year on a Nash. It was like chipped up and like waterlogged and
super slow.
just like, you know.
And then what was your first board after that Nash?
Yeah, so actually, one of my uncles owned a skate shop up in the mountains. It's called The Last Stop. Mm-hmm. Had one in Yucaipa and they had one in Lake Arrowhead. And so my first board would have been one of their like shop boards. It was The Last Stop. And then I got my first videos that day too. It was Misled Youth and Welcome to Hell.
Hell yeah.
And it set the tone for everything.
Dude.
You know, it was like I just got to jump off stuff and just be as like a little ratty as I can and cause mayhem, you know?
And how old were you when you got that first video and decided like,
yeah, I was probably 10. I was probably 10 at the time.
10.
9 or 10.
I feel like people who start skating before double digits, they tend to be pretty damn good.
Yeah.
When they get older, man.
Yeah, no, I got pretty good for a while, and you know, I was riding for a few companies. You know, I was on active for quite a while. Mm-hmm. And the military hit, and I just put it all away, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like now I'm not nearly as good as I was or could have been, but you know, it's just having fun now, you know? Just,
for sure. How long were you in the Army for?
So I was in for about 7.5 years. I did 4.5 active, and I was stationed at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, and then did a deployment to Afghanistan. And then after that, I went to Korea for 1.5 years. Yeah, it was super fun, South Korea. And then I got out. Life on the outside just wasn't what I wanted, like what I thought it would be. Yeah. It was pretty rough. So then I went back into the reserves, and I went to a PSYOP unit down in San Diego. So did 2 years there.
So that PSYOP unit was kind of a better transition for you.
Yeah.
To civilian life.
Yeah, definitely. It gave me the time to still have the military side of my life and like figure out what's going on in the real world.
While you were in, did you do any skating?
So on deployment, we had like a flat ground area on our J-Cob, and I was like, maybe I can skate while I'm here. So I asked my first sergeant, I was like, hey, do you mind if I have a board chipped out here? It'd be fun for me to like skate, you know, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah.
And he was like, hell no, like you're not doing that. And I was like, damn. Probably 2 years after that, I was in Korea, randomly found a skate shop one night and bought a board, bought like a Jim Greco Baker board.
Nice.
Yeah, and I was like, pick it back up again. So I skated a little bit in Korea for like a few months. And when I got out, I didn't skate at all. I was done.
Really?
Yeah, like I got back and like life was pretty rough right when I got back, and I was in a pretty dark place. Yeah. So I didn't touch skateboarding at all, and I didn't really cross my mind. And yeah, then I went back in and then didn't skate the whole time because I was focusing on Army stuff at the time.
Right.
And it wasn't until I got out again and went through like, I don't know, like the darker like transition, you know, where you just like fall into like negative drinking and partying and like bad behaviors and stuff like that. And then after that passed, like a friend of mine like started skating. He's like, let's go cruise around. And I was like, oh, that sounds fun. And then like, man, hooked again, you know?
That was it,
Just like back at it, and it's like all I want to do.
Ever since then, you've been in it.
Yeah, so ever since then I've been in it. I'd say the first year being back, like I would just cruise around, have a good time, and then probably like late 2019, early 2020, I was like, all right, like this is what I want to do. You know, like this is everything. Like this is that piece of me that's been missing since I was like a kid, you know?
Right.
And like I need it back. I have to have it back in my life.
Yeah.
So came back, and it came back hard, you know?
Dude, that's what it's all about, man.
Yeah.
That's what later skater is, man. There's no goodbyes in skateboarding, dude.
100%.
You didn't stop skating because you got old.
You got old because you stopped skating.
Exactly. So you rode for Active before you joined. You riding for anybody now?
Yeah, so I ride for a veteran-owned skate company, Thrash N Raid, and I love it. And I also ride for OG Pumpkin. It's a apparel company. It's run by Angel Cortez.
It's Ricky Rat, though.
It is Ricky Rat. Has nothing to do with
Disney. How'd you come in contact with those guys?
Yeah, so Zach from Official Military Skate, he posted one of my clips right when I was getting back into skating, and on his page, and then that kind of got a lot of like new traction and new followers from the veteran skate community. One of the companies that popped up was Thrash N Raid, and I was like, that company's sick. Like that company's so rad. Growing up in Southern California, and like I'm a in and out like, fanatic. You know, it's like anytime we're out, I'm just like,
in and out,
let's
please.
get in and out, yeah, like every time. And so I saw the logo, and I was like, dude, this guy gets it. And then he also had another board that was like a Minor Threat style board. It was like their old logo from their Out of Step album. And I was like, oh my God, like I have the black sheep tattooed on my ankle.
Yeah.
And I was like, this guy like knows what he's doing. Like this dude is like real. Plus it's like military stuff, it's punk stuff, it's like California. I was like, I gotta contact this guy. I hit up Benji, and I was like, hey man, like, is anybody riding for you? He's like, I don't have a team right now. When we start looking, I'll let you know. And then like, I was like, cool. I kind of like followed it a little bit, and then he put out an ad. It was like, hey, we're looking for team riders. You know, send in a 2-minute video. I was like, oh, I gotta do that. You know, so I put together like a little edit and sent it to him, and I didn't hear back. And then like, but I did it kind of late, and then he announced the team like a couple days after I sent my clip in, or my part in, and he was like, hey man, like I picked the team, I just saw your video, like I just announced a team, like let's keep talking. Maybe like a month later or so, he was like, hey, come meet up with me. And it was actually at Angel's house for one of their events they did together.
Yeah.
And I skated with him, met him, and he was like, yeah dude, I really liked your part, and I really like your personality, and like, you know, like what you're all about and everything. And he's like, I'd love for you to ride for the company. And I was like, I'm in. And like ever since then, dude, life has just, you know, skyrocketed. It's such the most amazing things.
Yeah.
We've linked up, and OG Pumpkin and 6 Feet Above.
Right.
All these incredible things, man. It's just, couldn't ask for a better life, you know what I mean?
That's amazing, man.
Yeah.
If you weren't skateboarding today, what would you be doing?
For like work or like career path, I'd probably choose something in like, probably the veteran outreach. We all struggle.
Right.
And it's pretty tough. So I'd want to do something to help them out. Luckily I have that opportunity now, but I'd probably do something in that arena. But outside of skateboarding, you know, I'm super into like comic books, and like my music palette, I guess, is like ridiculously diverse. You know, like you've been on the retreats,
Yeah,
you know,
dude.
I'll pop on like punk, and then I'll pop on like hip hop, and then I pop on funk, and then I pop on like Backstreet Boys, and then, like I'll pop on like oldies, like Marvin Gaye or the Temptations or something, you know.
Let's circle back to 6 Feet Above, man. Tell us a little more about that.
Yeah, so 6 Feet Above is a veteran nonprofit. We use skateboarding as a way to cope with stress and anxiety and PTSD and stuff like that, and build a community for people to have to lean on while they're either transitioning or still in. And it's really cool because skateboarding in itself, you know, is like such a rad community where it's super uplifting and supportive, and like skateboarding itself just, it gives you the resilience to do something over and over and over until you accomplish it.
Right.
And with veterans, I feel like we've accomplished so much, and then when we get out, we have nothing to accomplish anymore. And so we fall into like really bad dark holes. So with 6 Feet Above, we bring all these veterans together. You know, multiple people from all of our retreats are just like the best of friends now. They hang out like every day, always contacting each other. It's really nice for all of them to have someone to call and lean on. They're sharing clips, you know. We have people that come to the retreats that like have never skated before, and now they're like, hey, I just dropped in for the first time, and you know, everybody's like, dude, that's so sick.
Yeah. Just so you guys know, I've been on one of these retreats, and they're fucking amazing. You know, just like you, I didn't know how many veteran skaters out there
Yeah,
that there were, dude.
it's wild.
I mean, it's just perfect, dude, because there's so many similarities between people. The fact that we all served, the fact that we all skate, the fact that we all struggle, you know?
It's rad for a lot of people too, because like a lot of them said like, oh, this feels like I'm back with my boys, like hanging in the barracks or like hanging outside the smoke pit or like,
Yep.
and then like on the other side, they're like, man, I feel like I'm on like a pro skate trip, you know, like
Yeah.
going to like these like famous spots or like super
Cruising
rad
in the van and
parks.
shit.
Dude, cruising in the van,
Yeah.
just BSing. It's so cool, man. And I feel that every time.
What life lessons has skateboarding taught you?
Definitely resilience and patience. I feel like, especially like the older I get, you know, and like how long I've been out of skateboarding, it's like pretty frustrating coming back into it and not having the same bag of tricks or like being as consistent as you were. You gotta have that resilience and that patience to like get it back, because it just doesn't come easy. You know, it's not like riding a bike.
It is not, dude.
Not at all.
Not.
So I think those are the two big ones that I walk away from.
Really helps you to find comfort in failure,
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
Especially in an age right now where instant gratification is such a huge thing.
100%.
Skate for a while. That'll change you.
Definitely.
You know? Oh my God. Oh, I fucking missed that shit, dude. Let's say you ran into a younger you at the skate park or at the street spot back in the day. What would you say to young Logan?
I'd probably kick my ass, but probably tell him to not to keep skating, to not stop. Not only like you're gonna get better, even though it is difficult once you get it, like that feeling of landing a new trick or doing something really clean or anything like that is just the best feeling. You can't really explain it. So I think having that in your life consistently is really just something that everybody should experience.
Yeah.
I don't think you should ever get rid of it. So I would definitely tell myself to not stop skating.
What trick you hoping to get today?
I want to do blunts, you know, like a front blunt.
Nice.
I just learned them recently, thanks to Alec Jameer.
Hell yeah.
You know,
Love Alec.
Alec's amazing.
Where can people find you?
Yeah, so my Instagram handle is bones.conway. Kind of get a lot of crap for that one, but it's based off the Pauly Shore character from In the Army Now.
Oh.
It's like one of my favorite movies.
I was actually gonna ask you that.
Yeah, dude. It's funny now, a lot of people call me Bones, and like it wasn't my intention. Like just one random day, I was like picking an Instagram name, watching the movie, and I was like, dude, I love this movie. It's like my favorite movie ever. So I was like, I'm just gonna name my like Instagram bones.conway. Now, like there's just so much going on.
Yeah.
People just know me as Bones, and I'm like, whatever, you know? And then you can follow us on Thrash N Raid as well, and then at 6 Feet Above on Instagram as well.
Thank you so much for coming out and doing this interview and skating with me, dude.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate you.